Hi, welcome to Barre-Elevated. My name is Holly Rivers. I'm so glad you're with me today. Today's workout is going to be about 30 minutes long, and the way that this is going to be one of my typical barre workouts. And what I do with barre is I do slow things down, so if you are familiar with barre fitness type classes, then this one will be a little bit slower. It's designed to be able to follow along a little bit easier. The other aspect of this design is that you can make it as hard or as easy as you want. These exercises are really great for rehabilitation, for training your body for what we call prehabilitation, which is to prevent injuries, and it's also to help build balance and stability as well as mobility. So those are the aspects of barre that are really great to have. So today we're going to only need, if you want, you actually don't have to have for barre, but if you would like to have a chair, if you happen to have a home bar, that's fine, to balance with, and we need a couple weights. So we have to have these little weights. You don't have to have, actually. You can do what you want. It is your body and your workout. But I am going to do some stuff that I'll be using weights, and you can join with weights if you want to. Chairs for the idea of balance, or you can do everything that I do without a chair. That's what we call taking it to the center, and you can do any of these exercises. It'll be a little bit more of a challenge. It's going to work your balance a little bit harder, but you might be ready for that. If you're not ready for that, that's just fine. Grab your chair and let's get started. Okay, so we're getting started, and we're going to start on the floor and on our back. So I always like to begin with a nice, quick little check-in to see how I feel, and check my body, check the alignment, check to see how your jaw feels, how your neck feels, how the shoulder blades feel on your back. Just do a little body check-in. And from here, take a deep breath in, and we're going to exhale. And this time when we do our inhale and exhale, I want you to feel what your ribs feel like when you exhale. So take a deep breath in. Go ahead and fill everything up. Feel your belly up. Feel your lungs up. And then exhale. Feel those ribs and the intercostal muscles of the ribs collapse and bring themselves together. We're going to keep that feeling. So you're going to I call it knitting the ribs together. Many people do. But you're essentially going to bring those ribs and hold on as if you just exhaled all of your air, not hair. That's on your head. All right, so your air. So the air is all out. When we do that, we actually want to double check and make sure that our shoulders are relaxed. So we have our ribs are engaged, our shoulders are relaxed. We're going to go down and take care of our belly. So you can take your hands and really hold on your belly and feel yourself contract your muscles underneath. Okay, sometimes you might want to actually tap yourself, and your body, believe it or not, will naturally contract those muscles that you need to contract in order to protect the organs underneath that. We call it the transverse abdominis, okay? So we want that nice and contracted. Now we have our ribs in, we have that belly nice and engaged, so you actually should already be feeling some work right now. Depending on how strong you are, depends on how hard this will already feel. So from this point, and don't worry, you get stronger as you go, we're going to pick up the right foot, and we're going to take it back down. We're not going to move our hips. If you want to, take your hands and place them on the hips, and then pick up the other foot and take it down. Keep those shoulders relaxed, the neck and the jaw relaxed. Take the right leg up and take it down. So what we're actually doing right now is engaging that deep pelvic floor. You may have heard about this before. I have dance students, and I tell my dance students who are a lot younger that it's their pee and poo muscles. So it's both of the pelvic floor in the front and the pelvic floor in the back. What those pelvic floor muscles are doing and how they're engaging is by not letting our hips rock back and forth. If we were to let go, then our hips would be rocking as we bring one leg up versus the other. We just have a few more to do here. Relax those shoulders, neck, and jaw. Let's do one more set. And bring it down. From here, we're going to keep those ribs drawn in, keep that nice, strong, I call it the corset-like feeling around the organs and spine. So we're going to hold that position. From here, we're going to take and think about those pelvic floors I hope you just felt, and they're going to contract and engage. So think about them coming in and together. As they do that, we're going to curl the hips, and you should have a little arch in your back. We're going to press the lower back into the floor. Relax your shoulders, neck, and jaw, and release and arch it up toward the ceiling. So now we're going to create a nice bridge like with our belly. Everything's nice and relaxed. Now bring all that back in, contract and press, so you should feel from your ribs through your belly into your pelvic floor contracted. And then you're going to release and arch up to the ceiling. We're going to do 2 more like this. We're going to contract and press. Release and arch. Contract and press. Release and arch. Come back to that neutral spine. All right, we're going to bring ourselves up. And we're going to go ahead and come all the way to standing. Okay, so up here in standing, I do want you to grab a hold of your weights. And we're actually going to start, in a first position turn out. So in dance classes, we refer to the turned out position versus I'll show you the parallel. They're pretty much self-explanatory. We're going to turn out. What I want you at home to be doing is to actually think about the turnout comes from the hips. So we don't want to lock into those hips either. So if you feel yourself it feels a little bit like jamming up in there, just let it relax a little bit. We're going to be using these glutes. So I want you to feel that glute. Like watch what happens. So as I come into the turnout, that engages. So you want to take those glute muscles and it's almost like they're picking up and rotating your legs in. Okay, so you have that nice engagement of the lower gluteus minimus. You're not going to engage in the top. We're going to lift up the kneecaps so you have this nice engagement here, okay? The weight's a little bit in the balls of the feet, okay? One of the things we talk about in dance is the reason why we get so strong, especially in balance, is because our muscles are almost always engaged. And that's what makes the workout a whole lot harder. We're going to just take our arms out to the side. If you want to put the weights down, you can. We're going to simply hold the weights here. Your arms are potentially going to get tired. You can always take them back down to your hips when you're ready for that. So the arms are out to the side. Take your shoulder blades, draw them down the back, and I want your elbows not to be drooping. So we want to take, and I want you to rotate until the eye of the elbow is actually facing to the front. And you can grip your weights like this if you want to, or if you want to kind of relax your hands a little bit, that's fine as well. I'm going to take one of my legs and I'm going to take it out to the side. This is called a tendu. Press the toes away from you into a pointed foot. From there, we're going to open up, find it into a plie. We're going to keep this engaged. You keep your arms out. Keep that engaged so the belly's nice and strong. And then from here, we're going to shift and take it to the other side. And then we're going to keep that leg out. Now we're going to open into that second. And we're going to come back up. We're doing this nice and slow. As you do it slow, I want you to open those knees up. We call it opening a book a lot of times in class because you want to think about not letting your legs fold in. I'm going to show you what that looks like on this one. So you don't want this cave in to happen. You actually want your knees nice and wide, open up, and press through. And we're taking that plie. Now I want you to use your foot, shift your weight over, and that foot to the side, press through to bring you up as you straighten that leg. So we learn how to use our feet in dance. Open and press. And open and press. Your arms are probably getting tired now. You're welcome to put your weights down and put the arms back out. Or you're welcome to simply put your hands on your hips and take it up. We're going to do a full another set. Here's our first side. We're headed to our second side. This is where we're going to stop, really reach that foot out, and then we're going to bring it in and bring the arms down. Whew. Rotate those arms to the back. Rotate them to the front. When you engage your muscles in that really strong isometric hold as you move, you find that workouts get harder. We're going to come into a parallel position. And we're going to press our arms back behind us, nice and long. Press through the eye of the elbow. We're going to bend our knees. We're going to come into a chair pose for those of you who are familiar with yoga. I have my shoulder blades are pulled down. Just like we were on the floor, I want you to bring those ribs in and wrap that corset around the organs in the spine. Nice strong bellies. We're going to pulse our arms here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now here's our challenge. Don't move the upper arm. Just rotate the palms, curl it in, take it back, and rotate to press it away. And curl in, and back. And if you feel like you would like to have bigger weights, you can certainly do that. We are working more of our macro muscles on this one. When we work micro muscles, I prefer you to stay lighter weight just to prevent injury. But if you contract your muscles as you move this, you're going to find that this will be sufficiently hard, even without weights. We're still going. We have 3 more. Press it back. 2 more. Press it back. Last one. Press it. Hold it there for a second. See if you can press a little harder. Press a little harder. Press a little harder. Press. And release. Shake it out. We're going to rotate into that turned out first position again. From here, we're going to go back into that dance stance. So we're going to have dance stance. Weights a little bit in the balls of the feet. Lift up those kneecaps. We want to really let those lower glutes reach toward each other to rotate those legs out. So you want to think about that rotation coming in that direction, right? So you have the kneecaps are lifted. My legs are nice and strong. They're contracted right now, okay? Wrap that corset around the organs. Draw those ribs in. We're going to take and bend the arms at the side. We're in this nice 90-degree angle. If you want, you can take it more to a, I guess a 120 or whatever to right here. That would be fine. Either way, it'll be a little bit harder as you open up. We're going to take, don't move the shape of your arms. Just lift the elbows out to the side. As we do that, we're going to be into a plie. And now bring it all in. Now let's do all of it at the same time. We go up and down and down. Keep it going. You've got it. Let those shoulders go down the back as you bring the elbows up. We've got 3 more. And now 2 more. And we have our last one. And bring it in. All right, open out into that second position that we were doing earlier. Again, let's check our dance stance. So we have the weights a little in the balls of the feet. Lift up those kneecaps. Really wrap those gluteus medius underneath the tush, so to speak. We're going to try to create that lift that we want. We're going to have that nice strong corset around the organs. We're going to draw the ribs in toward each other as we take the shoulders down the back. And we're going to take the arms, keep the shoulders down as we bring the arms to the center. We're going to take them up and overhead. Keep those shoulders down. So we don't want to be up here. We actually want to be here, and then bring those elbows out to the side. Find goalpost arms. You have a choice. You can open your hands to the front, or you can have them facing your ears, and you can play back and forth with that however you want. I'm going to face to the front today. Don't move out of your dance stance. The whole time I'm talking, I'm still here, so I'm still kind of working. So you're never standing in a resting position unless I tell you. And here we go. We go 1 and up and 2. Open that knees wide. Really use the feet into the floor. It's like you're pressing the floor away. We have 3 more. And 2 more. we have our last one. And release. Good. Roll those shoulders, shake that out a little bit. Okay, so you have an option. You can keep your weights, and we're going to hold them here again. You might find that that's a little too much for you. If you want, so keep those if you want. I'm going to go ahead and put mine down so it can be seen without. You're going to have your arms out to the side. From here, if your arms still get tired there, just simply put your hands on your hips. This is your workout, remember. It's always your workout. You do what feels good for you and your body. I'm going to start with my arms out to the side. I'm going to keep those ribs drawn in. I'm going to wrap that corset around my spine. My shoulder blades are down the back as I bring those lower glutes toward each other, lifting up the kneecaps. Now that I'm all nice and strong, I'm actually going to take one foot out in front of me. As I do that, I want you to think about the heel reaching to the front. So not here, we're going to actually rotate. Feel yourself rotate that leg. I want you to flex that foot. We're going to bend and press it away. And 2. Press everything away. Let that leg feel like it's being pulled out and away from your body. And 3. And 4. 5. 6. 7. Working that balance. And 1 more. 8. And we're going to bring it in. Let's take our arms down for a little bit of a rest. Roll those shoulders and bring them to the front. Remember to always find the balance between the challenge and the kindness. We want to have both. We want to challenge our bodies while we have kindness for our bodies. All right, we're going to time to press to the front. Remember, really think about that heel reaching toward the front, so we don't want to droop it down. Reach that heel to the front. My body's working hard right now. Now, it's going to keep going with that flexed foot as I bend. And I'm going to press everything away. And press it away. And 3. And press it away. And 4. Press. And 5. Press. And 6. We have 2 more. You ever heard the joke that dancers cannot count more than 8? And last one. Almost done. And bring it in. Roll those shoulders again. Bring it to the front. We are going to take it to the side. All right. Weights in the front of the feet. We're going to lift those kneecaps. Finding that dancer stance. We're going to bring those lower glutes around behind us. Really wrap that corset nice and strong. Bring those ribs and shoulders down the back. Now we have it. We should be working hard just in this position by itself. You can take your arms out. If you're ready to have your hands on your hips, go ahead and have your hands on your hips. We're going to time you out to the side. We're going to really press that leg away. Now when we go to the side in this turnout, we're not going to go directly side. We actually want it on a diagonal, okay? So really your side is more like a little bit to the front. And we're going to flex that foot as we bend. I'm going to press it away. And press it away. And 3. Every muscle in your body should be working right now, except your jaw. Relax your jaw. Press. And 4. That's one of those tricks that dancers learn. It's why it looks so easy. What they do is they learn how to relax their jaw and smile. I'm having a little party right now. How about you? We have 2 more. What? This doesn't hurt. This is easy. Last one. And bring it in. Roll those shoulders. Roll them to the front. And other side. Take those arms back out or keep them on the hips. Whatever works for you. You can still have your weights if you want them. And time you out to the side. Really stretch that leg away from you. Really make sure you're on that diagonal. Rotate that heel to the front as you flex and bend. And straight. And 2. And 3. And 4. I don't know about you, but I'm sweating. 2 more. And last one. And bring it in. Roll those shoulders. Shake it out a little bit. All right, so we are actually going to go down to the floor. So we're going to be on our backs. We're going to check in with our abdominals for a little bit, give them a little bit more very focused work. This is something that is not necessarily a dance-inspired exercise, but all dancers work their abdominals because your balance actually comes from your core. So we're going to do that now. Now, this is going to be a little different than what I did at the beginning. We are actually going to think about creating a hollow body position. So I'm going to take my lower back and I'm going to press it in the floor like I did in the very beginning, and I'm going to keep it that way. The other aspect of this one that I want to think about is drawing the ribs into each other, and I'm actually trying to pull the belly button in. So in the beginning, we didn't necessarily try to pull the belly button down toward the floor, but this time we are. Okay? Your shoulders should actually be relaxed, so they're not necessarily gripping and holding. That's what mine want to do. All right, so we're having that nice press to the floor. We're still doing that, so you're still working out. As I'm talking, press, press, press. Really draw those ribs in. Hold them nice and strong. Relax those shoulders. We're going to pick our feet up off the floor. We're going to take our legs up to the ceiling. From here, I want you to take your arms down to the side. What we're doing here is pressing that lower back into the floor. Really do that nice and strong. I'm taking my legs and I'm pressing them into each other. I want you to do that until you start to shake a little bit. From there, I'm going to keep my knees where they're at. I'm going to bend my legs. Press those legs into each other. Press that lower back into the floor. Lower the toes toward the floor we're trying not to move our thighs. Keep pressing that lower back into the floor, and then we're going to press those knees together as we move back to straight legs up toward the ceiling. You should be shaking while you're doing this. Press that lower back in. Press those legs in each other. We're really working those inner thighs right now, as well as the core abdominal muscles. Also working those intercostals. We're working all the diaphragms that we have, working that pelvic floor. We're just working it all, and lower. Keep pressing those legs in each other, and straight. And keep going. Keep pressing that lower back in the floor. Don't go with your toes all the way to the floor if your lower back starts to release. Always keep your lower back glued to the mat. That's why I say glued, because it needs to be glued to the mat. Sometimes I have to laugh at myself, and you'll just have to bear with me. And 2 more times. And we have 1 more. If you're like me, I'm shaking. If you're shaking, it means you're doing it right. If you're not shaking, I promise you, you will get there. And bend those knees and bring that in. Rock from side to side. And we're going to bring ourselves up to sitting. All right. We're going to start with our legs straight through. You've seen me do this some before. So I'm going to show you what's happening with our legs first. I'm going to flex and bend. And then I'm going to press them away and press through to the point. I want to try to keep my ankles more toward each other. Don't let them rotate out. Okay, so we're going to have that nice long line with those legs. We'll flex, and then we'll press away. We're going to have our arms up and over our head. We're going to hold it here as we bend and flex. Now press them away. Once we get to that point, we're going to lean forward with a long spine. Think about folding your hips toward your thighs, and come back up, and flex, and press, and fold without bending your back, and back upright, and flex, and press, and forward. And last time, flex, and press through those heels, point through those toes, and come forward, and straight. This is our last time. We're going to flex. This time we're going to press through those heels. Keep those heels nice and flexed. We're gonna come through flat back. We call it a flat back. Flat back, fold those hips until you can't anymore, and then we're just gonna come over and reach those toes. We are still pressing through our heels. All of our legs are engaged, so rarely does a dancer ever do a relaxed, static stretch. You get much more flexibility if you have your muscles contracted and you stretch over them. If you can only go to your shins, go to your shins. If you can go to your knees. This is all about your body. Remember, challenge with kindness. And release and come up. We're going to take it out to the side. So we have our knees are facing up. See, my toes are facing up. I don't want my legs rolled in like this. So wherever you're at, you want to bring your legs closer together until you can get that position. It's fine. If you're right here, it's fine. It's your body. Take care of it. It's with you for the rest of your life. Okay? Toes are to the ceiling. Knees are up to the ceiling. We're going to keep our arms out into what we call a second position. This is second position on the floor. We're going to bend those knees up toward the ceiling. Now press through straight. Press to the backs of the knees. Point through those toes. And then we're going to fall forward. And we're going to come back up. We're going to bend to flex. We're going to do something a little bit different this time. Not stretch through. And then we're going to actually reach up and over. And come back to center. And flex. And press it away. We're going to go over the other side this time. Really reach through. Keep that opposite hip on the floor. Come back to center. This time we're going to go through the center again. Press through. Point those toes. Center. And up. And then this time we're going to keep our feet flexed. So we're going to press through, press through, press through, press it away, press those legs away. Really engage those muscles now. We're going to fold a little bit. Take those hips toward the floor without bending the spine. Take those hips a little further. Take them a little further, and then you can start to curl over. Bring yourself to the floor. If you're like me, the floor feels really good right now. I have this nice wooden floor that feels very cool to my body. And bring yourself up. We're going to bring our legs in. We're going to bring ourselves up onto our feet. You don't have to do this. You can do this however you want to. It's your body. But if you can, we're going to come onto our toes. We're going to press our hips up toward the ceiling. We have this nice forward fold. From here, I want you to bend those knees. I want you to take your tailbone, and your tailbone is going to reach toward the floor to bring your hips upright, but your shoulders and your back is still relaxed and hanging over. As you roll your hips up, then you begin to stack one of your vertebrae on top of the other. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Start to straighten those legs. Start to bring every vertebra up. Your head is going to be the last thing as your shoulders fall into place. We're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to bring it in front of our body. And two. And from here, our palms are going to meet at the top. They're going to come down to the heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any thoughts, comments, or concerns, please put them into the comments below. This is Barre-Elevated, and feel active, feel better, stay active, and age gracefully. Have a blessed day.